You might have forgotten who I am. I am Sharkbo11. I haven't posted a video in over a year. So, yeah, surprised that I'm here. But, I decided that I will unveil mock draft for this year because since draft got pushed back 2 weeks, I have nothing better to do than create my own mock draft. The real draft is this Thursday, and I am excited for it. But here we go. Okay, with the first pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select, and this message on you, Johnny Football, quarterback, Texas A&M. He's 6 foot, 207 pounds. And, you know, a lot of people are probably going to say, I can't believe you didn't have Clowney here. And I actually think the Texans are probably going to draft Clowney. But I think they should draft Johnny Manziel. He's probably the best quarterback in the draft. And they really need a quarterback. I really doubt that they're going to be able to rely on Ryan Fitzpatrick the whole next year and expect to be any better than they were this year. Okay, with the second pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, the St. Louis Rams select Greg Robinson, tackle, Auburn. He is 6'5" and 332 pounds. Not much to say about this pick. It's almost consensus now that the Rams will probably draft a tackle or trade down, and Robinson is the best tackle available, and I will not be having trades in my draft because that's just way too hard to predict. Okay. With the third pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Jadeveon Clowney, defensive end, South Carolina. He is 6'6" and 266 pounds. Now, Jadeveon Clowney is probably the best player in the draft, and I figured he'd probably go somewhere in the top 3. Obviously, the Texans need a quarterback, and the Rams' front 7 is already completely loaded, so I figure he's probably going to the Jaguars. Even though I think the Jaguars should draft a quarterback, I think they'll probably wait till round 2 because there's plenty of good quarterbacks available then. And, yeah, best defensive player probably in a long time, since I don't even know, he's just consensus probably the top D end in 5 years at least. Fourth pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Jake Matthews, tackle, Texas A&M. A 6'5", 308. I figure I'm probably going to get a lot of backlash for this one because obviously the Browns should probably get Sammy Watkins, and I think they probably will. But I figure that they could probably do better if they move Mitchell Schwartz to right guard and put Matthews at right tackle. That'd probably improve their O-line and help protect the guy I have them getting later in the draft. With the fifth pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, the Oakland Raiders select Sammy Watkins, wide receiver, Clemson, 6'1", 211. Okay, so Sammy Watkins, obviously the best wide receiver in the draft, maybe the best wide receiver to come out since AJ Green. Yeah, the Raiders need receivers. Like, they got James Jones in free agency, and they still got Denarius Moore, and Andre Holmes, I believe. But they just need receivers. They don't have. I don't think they draft a quarterback. They got Matt Schaub. They don't want to have him be a backup after giving up a 6th round pick for him. Okay, that sounds pretty stupid, just a 6th round pick, but I just have him getting Watkins. He's just best player available, and they'd probably be shocked he didn't go to the Browns. Okay, with the 6th pick in 2014 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select Taylor Lewan, tackle, Michigan, 6'7", 308. Now, Lewan was probably the consensus #1 tackle going into the draft last year. Well, before this year, he was a consensus #1 tackle. And Greg Robinson, Jake Matthews obviously had great years. One had a good year too, but he's kind of fallen down draft boards. But the Falcons' offensive line was horrible last year, and they definitely could use probably one of the best tackle prospects in the draft. With the 7th pick in 2014 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Eric Ebron, tight end, North Carolina, 6'4", 250. Okay, so I don't even know who the Buccaneers tight end is. I'm not sure. Eric Ebron is a consensus elite prospect, probably the best tight end in a long time. You're gonna hear me say that a lot. Yeah, he's probably gonna be an elite player at the next level, and he's just, the Buccaneers need a tight end, and he's the best one in the draft, by far. Okay, with the 8th pick in 2014 NFL Draft, Minnesota Vikings select Blake Bortles, quarterback, Central Florida, 6'5", 232. Now, Blake Bortles kind of reminds me of Ben Roethlisberger. He's kind of big, he's got a good arm, he's kind of mobile, but not really mobile, but he can move when he needs to. I don't think he'll be as good as Ben Roethlisberger, and I don't even think the Vikings will end up drafting the quarterback in the first round. They need to eventually, but I'm not sure if it's in the first round. But I think they should draft Bortles if he's available, but I don't think they will. The 9th pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select Khalil Mack, outside linebacker, Buffalo, 6'3", 251. Now, if Khalil Mack somehow falls this far, which I don't think he will, this would be an awesome steal. In city linebacker, probably the second best defensive player in the whole draft. He's just screaming with talent, and the only thing keeping him from being #1 probably is that he went to Buffalo and not like a big name school like South Carolina, like Clowney. But he's a great player, and if he somehow falls to the Bills, they should definitely grab the in-city prospect. With the 10th pick in 2014 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Mike Evans, wide receiver, Texas A&M, 6'5", 231. Okay, so Mike Evans, it sounds like the Lions want to get a wide receiver. I'm not sure why, because they already have Calvin Johnson and Golden Tate. Maybe move Golden Tate to the slot and Evans to be the #2. Well, obviously Megatron's going to be #1. But just give Stafford another weapon. It worked out pretty well for other quarterbacks. With the 11th pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Teddy Bridgewater, quarterback, Louisville, 6'2", 214. Now, I know I'm going to get a lot of backlash for this one, because the Titans already have Jake Locker, but the Titans, but they just recently decided not to pick up his 5th-year option, which tells me this is a make-or-break year for him. If he doesn't succeed, he's probably not going to be around in Tennessee too much longer. I don't think he's going to be around Tennessee too much longer anyways. I expect them to do something with him. But Teddy Bridgewater, I still think is the best quarterback in the draft, just as far as upside goes. And Titans need to be successful. They've got plenty of talent on defense. They need a quarterback to step up. Okay, with the 12th pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Anthony Barr, outside linebacker, UCLA, 6'5", 255. So Anthony Barr is probably, he's probably going to be in the top 10. Like, if Blake Bortles isn't available, I probably think he's going to go to the Vikings. But if he's available for the Giants and LeBron's gone, like I have him, I think the Giants should definitely draft Barr. With the 13th pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, the St. Louis Rams select Clinton-Dix, safety, Alabama, 6'1", 208. Alright, so Clinton-Dix is obviously the best safety in the draft. Coming from Alabama, he's probably the best Alabama prospect in the draft, but he's not the first one off going in the first round, as you'll see later. Yeah, the Rams need a safety, a strong safety, because I don't know if T.J. McDonald, I believe. I don't think he'll be able to hold up the strong safety spot in St. Louis. The Rams already have a great defense, and that'll really improve with Clinton-Dix. The 14th pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, Chicago Bears select Zach Martin, tackle, Notre Dame. Okay, so I know I have him listed as a tackle, but Zach Martin would probably succeed more as a guard. The right side of the Bears line last year was greatly helped by Kyle Long and Mills. And I think the left side could still use some improvement. So I think moving Zach Martin to offensive guard would really help their line and probably give them a better chance of winning the division. With the 15th pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Justin Gilbert, cornerback, Oklahoma State, 6', 202. Okay, so Justin Gilbert is kind of like Patrick Peterson, only obviously not nearly as good. Well, he could be good in the NFL, but he's not like, he's similar to Patrick Peterson. They both they're both breakneck speed. They both have decent ball skills, but I don't think he'll be as good as Peterson, even though he has a similar build to him. I think, though, that he could be successful in special teams, definitely as a return man, and yeah. With the 16th pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Aaron Donald, defensive tackle, Pittsburgh, 6'1", 285. Aaron Donald is the consensus best defensive tackle in the draft, and he might remind some of Geno Atkins. He's a good pass rusher from the inside, and he could be really helpful for that Cowboys defense that was just plain awful last year, especially after losing Jason Hatcher. With the 17th pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, Baltimore Ravens select Odell Beckham Jr., wide receiver, LSU, 5'11", 198. So, Odell Beckham Jr. is probably one of my favorite prospects in the draft. He is really fast, almost kind of reminds me of Deshaun Jackson. And, yeah, the Ravens did not have a lot of weapons last year. They obviously still have Torrey Smith, and they got Steve Smith, and I believe Marlon Brown, I don't remember. But Odell Beckham Jr. is probably one of the top 3 best wide receivers in this class, and he would be a great help for that Ravens receiving core, and Joe Flacco. With the 18th pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Brandon Cooks, wide receiver, Oregon State, 5'10", 189. Now, Brandon Cooks was one of, if not the fastest players at the Combine. I can't remember right now, but he blazed it on the 40, and I think I know I compared Beckham Jr. to Deshaun Jackson earlier, but I actually think Cooks is probably better comparison to Jackson. He could absolutely just run away from everybody. I know that sounds dumb, but he's just so fast, just ridiculous. He's just, yeah, he would definitely help out that Jets receiving core that has David Nelson, and now Eric Decker, but he would definitely help him out. With the 19th pick in 2014 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Cyrus Kouandjio, tackle, Alabama, 6'7", 322. Now, I think this is kind of a reach. I wouldn't draft Kouandjio in the first round, but the Dolphins' offensive line was horrible last year. I think Ryan Tannehill was the most sacked quarterback in the league. If not, he was one of the most sacked. And they got Brandon Albert in free agency, but they could probably still use some help on the right side. So Kouandjio would probably be definitely helpful. With 20th pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select C.J. Mosley. I think I spelled that wrong. Middle linebacker, Alabama. Okay. 6'2", 234. So Mosley is probably the best inside linebacker in the draft, and the Cardinals had a really good defense last year. They went into Seattle and absolutely shut down the Seahawks, and obviously Seahawks are the defending champions, so that's not easy to do. But I can't get my mind off how I misspelled his name. Alright, so the Cardinals lost Carlos Dansby to the Browns in the draft, and not the draft, free agency, so they could definitely use some help there. Their defense is still really good, and this could end up being a luxury pick, but I just think they need to replace Dansby for the time being. With the 21st pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Calvin Pryor, safety, Louisville, 5'11", 207. So, Packers just need help in the back end of their defense, and Calvin Pryor is one of the best secondary players in this draft. So, just obvious pick here. Luxury pick. Not luxury pick. Address a need. The 22nd pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Ryan Shazier, outside linebacker, Ohio State. 6'1", 237. Ryan Shazier is the best. Well, not the best. He led the Big Ten in tackles last year, and he can fly all over the field. He's a willing tackler. He can go sideline to sideline with ease, and he just makes every tackle you need him to. And that the Eagles need to address defense. Their offense was awesome last year, but their defense was at times not so great. They were decent, but not great. And Shazier will make them great. With the 23rd pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Marquise Lee, wide receiver, USC. 6', 192. So Marquise Lee, once again, kind of like LeWan, was #1 wide receiver in the draft before last season. But the performance of Sammy Watkins, Mike Evans, Beckham Jr., and Cooks pushed him down to the 5th best receiver. I still think he could be a very solid contributor in the NFL, and he would definitely be help to a Chiefs team that is throwing to Dwayne Bowe and Donnie Avery, and I don't even know who else. But Lee would definitely aid. With the 24th pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select Darqueze Dennard, cornerback, Michigan State, 5'11", 199. I'm not sure if Darqueze Dennard will be available right here, and I really doubt he will. But if he is, I think the Bengals should definitely jump on him. He might be the best corner in the draft. Justin Gilbert might. I think he's better than Justin Gilbert personally. It's just a matter of NFL teams think he is. I don't think he's gonna be available here, but the Bengals, Adam Jones and Terrence Newman are getting old. Leon Hall is coming off his second Achilles injury, and Drake Kirkpatrick hasn't played fantastic since being drafted. So I think they could definitely address an issue with pick of Dennard. With the 25th pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, San Diego Chargers select Kyle Fuller, cornerback, Virginia Tech, 6', 190. Kyle Fuller is probably the most polished corner in the draft. He doesn't have a lot of holes, a little bit of an injury concern, but he's probably one of the best at his position in the draft. I don't know what's up for me. Okay, so Fuller would immediately help out the Chargers secondary that is lacking of really any great players, aging or young or anything. So I feel like he could really help out their secondary that was terrible last year. With the 26th pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Derek Carr, quarterback, Fresno State, 6'2", 214. Now, the Browns need a quarterback, and Brian Hoyer, while he showed flashes last year, I do not think is the quarterback of the future in Cleveland. I feel like they'd be much better off drafting Derek Carr. He has a strong arm, and he won games at Fresno State, which is not as easy to do as it might seem, even though they're against weak competition. But Derek Carr's probably one of the best quarterbacks in the draft, and hopefully he doesn't end up like his brother. With the 27th pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Xavier Su'a-Filo, guard, UCLA, 6'4", 307. I have a feeling Su'a-Filo is going to be one of the best prospects in the draft. Like, he's not highly rated right now, but I have a feeling he could be good at the next level. Like, I feel like the Saints, even though this might be considered a reach, in the end it actually might end up being a steal. Su'a-Filo is just probably an elite guard prospect in my opinion, not many others. But he'll be great in the next level, and the Saints get a great player here. With the 28th pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, Carolina Panthers select Morgan Moses, tackle, Virginia, 6'6", 314. So Morgan Moses is not by any means a great prospect, but he could definitely help out the Panthers' offensive line, especially now Jordan Gross is gone, who's a pretty good left tackle at Virginia, and I have a feeling he could have a great career in Carolina. With the 29th pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots select Coney Ely, defensive end, Missouri, 6'4", 273. So Coney Ely is probably the best D-end in the draft after Jadeveon Clowney. He is great at rushing the passer and defending the run, and he could definitely help out the Patriots defense. I don't follow the Patriots, so I have no idea how their D-end situation is going right now, but he could definitely help them out in rushing the passer, which is something no team ever doesn't want to do. With the 30th pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Rashad Hageman, defensive tackle, Minnesota, 6'6", 310. Hageman, after Donald, is probably the second best D tackle in draft. He's great at rushing the passer, and he's definitely got a mean streak to him. There was a play last year or a couple years back, I don't remember, where he he got a sack without his helmet, and that's kind of force that the 49ers could definitely use in the middle now that they're kind of don't have much in the middle. They have Justin Smith, and that's about it. With the 31st pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, the Denver Broncos select here. Okay. So Roby is now that the top four or the top three cornerbacks are gone, it's really a decision on the Broncos. They want to go to with Roby or Verrett. Verrett, I feel, is a better player, but Roby probably has more upside. Like, if he can play like he did in 2012, he could be an elite player. But if he plays like he did in 2013, this could end up being a bust. But I feel like the Broncos are going to try to continue addressing their defense like they did in free agency with Ward, Talib, and Ware, and they're going to keep they're going to keep adding to that defense. with the 32nd pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Kelvin Benjamin, wide receiver, Florida State. Now, obviously, okay, 6'5", 240. Is that accurate? 6'5", 240? Okay. Okay, Benjamin is obviously he's the only player I have from the BCS championship winners, Florida State, going in the first round.